Okay, so we have the recording. Okay, so we had started the Vibhuti Yoga proper in the last class with Adityanam Aham Vishnur Jyotisham Raviramshuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatra Aham Shashi. That was the first. That's the 21st shloka of the 10th chapter. The first proper on the Vibhuti. Please mute, everybody mute. Okay, and so I think we had completed until Nakshatra Aham Shashi. So going back to the reason for this adhyaya, this chapter in Bhagavad Gita, is I said it is for prateeka upasana, how to do upasana, how to do worship. So let's hit the basics of that. So what is worship? What did I say last time? You can unmute and answer. What did I say? What worship is?
Worship is always to the Paramatma,
Meditation.
not to the pratika itself.
Correct, but what exactly do you do?
Meditation.
No, not meditation.
Guna Anusandhana.
Correct. That should be your answer. What is worship? Guna Anusandhana. And what is Guna Anusandhana? That means that whatever, if you're worshipping Paramatma through Agni, what you're thinking is one of the dominant guna of Agni, the quality of Agni is its purity, right? Fire cannot be polluted. So he who is pure, Agni is pure. So then, so it is reminding you, worship is kind of whatever you're using for worship, that object is reminding you of, times infinity is what Paramatma is going to be. Okay, so that is what worship is. Please everybody mute. Okay, so that is worship. So and when I had quoted a mantra from the Upanishad where it said tam yata yatopasate tadeva bhavati. That means as you see Paramatma, so you will become. So another reason for Guna Anusandhana is if you see Paramatma as good, then the good qualities will grow in you. If you see Paramatma as courage, then courage will grow in you. So all of those good gunas will grow in you, and that is the reason you're not praising Paramatma. There's no need to praise, right? You're doing the Guna Anusandhana so that that kind of quality, what you see in God, that you will become. If you see goodness in God, you will become good. If you see beauty in God, that you'll get that quality. You'll see courage in God, you'll get that quality. If you see knowledge in God, you'll get that quality, right? Finally, if you see God as free, you get that mukti. Or if you see God as infinite, then that quality of your own full expression of your own fullness of who you are happens in mukti. So that is what worship in Vedanta, in Hinduism means. It is Guna Anusandhana. What it's looking at Paramatma's guna, and prateeka upasana is it's the mode of doing that. And prateeka upasana is choosing a symbol or an idol such that that symbol reminds you of a certain quality. There should be a certain quality, and so that quality infinite times is what Paramatma is. So if you see, if you are worshipping God through Agni, through fire, then the fire is purity. That means you are thinking that, oh, just like this Agni is pure, hey, you are purified. Purity times infinity, infinite pure. And that is how you, that you do the worship. Okay, so that is the basic. Let's, there was a few more things that I wanted to talk about. Nakshatra Aham Shashi. So this is among all the nakshatras, all the constellations and stars. I am moon. is what Krishna is saying. That means I am in moon. And so here uh, we talked about different nakshatras and how moon is nakshatra adhipati and how this is vijati, right? The vibhuti is vijati. That means this is not the greatest among in the same group. This is across different groups. So Chandra is not a star, is not a constellation, but he's constellation adhipati. So he says, instead of choosing the constellation, he's chosen the lord of the constellation, which is the moon. So let me share the other document here, the spreadsheet. Okay, so if you look at the spreadsheet, I added a few more things in the spreadsheet. And hold on, let me see. So nakshatras, right? So I talked about nakshatranam amshin. What are the nakshatras? So what I've done is I've captured the nakshatra lord. So if you look at all of these devatas, these are all the devatas that will be in one of the ganas. Either they are Adityas or they are Rudras, Vasus, and all of they lord the constellations. Okay, so you can start with Ashwini. So the lord of Ashwini is Ashwini Kumaras, right? The twins, Nasatya and Dasra, the twins, the devatas, they rule that. Bharani is ruled by Yama. And one important thing you need to understand is the nakshatra chakra, the circle of nakshatra, or the cycle of nakshatra starts not from Ashwini, it starts from Kritika. So Kritika is the first nakshatra, and the Adhipati is Agni. Therefore, Agni is the messenger, right? I mean, he is the one between the Manushyas and the Devaganas. And the first in the nakshatra chakra is always Kritika, that is the birth, and then the last one is Bharani, ruled by Yama. That's the last. So nakshatra chakra starts with Kritika nakshatra and ends in Bharani nakshatra. But the Rashi chakra starts with Mesha Rashi. That's here. And therefore, Ashwini nakshatra is the first constellation in the Mesha Rashi. And therefore, we start from Ashwini nakshatra. When you're talking about Rashi chakra, when you're talking about that, Ashwini comes here, right? Each of this Rashi is made of, three nakshatras, different padas of three nakshatras. So Ashwini, Bharani, first Kritika pada will be part of Aries or Mesha Rashi. But then if you're talking about the Rashi chakra, you'll talk about Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika. But if you're talking about nakshatra chakra, the nakshatra chakra actually starts from Kritika. Agni rules that. And then you can see Rohini is ruled by Brahma, Mrigashira by Chandra. What is today's nakshatra? Anybody know today's nakshatra?
Today, Tithi, I know it is Ekadasi.
No, Tithi nakshatra is Purva Phalguni. So if you look at this one, it is ruled by Bhaga. Bhaga is one of the, Bhaga is a nakshatra adhipati, but he is also Makara Rashi adhipati. So he is also Rashi adhipati, but he is also nakshatra adhipati. Bhagya Devata, right? He is the one who gives Bhagya. One of the Adityas that give Bhagya. He is also today's nakshatra adhipati is Bhaga. Tomorrow is Aryama, right? If it's Aryama, he is nakshatra adhipati. He is also Rashi adhipati. He rules Rishabh Rashi, Taurus. He rules the Pitrus. Aryama is here. He's one of the Pitrugana. So you can have multiple roles. Aryama is Aditya, is also Nakshatra Adhipati, is also one of the Pitruganas. Right? So these are the ones. So these are the, if you remember, the Daksha's daughters that, in the Puranas where that moon married, that is this, Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, these are all Daksha's daughters. That means they are the rulers of the constellations. That moon goes around. That is this. Okay. Now let's look at moon. The story of moon. Do you know who is moon? How did he come? How was moon formed?
No.
Anybody? So Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. So you need to know who Shashi is. Who is the Shashi? Right? So now all the devatas, the rule is this. All the devatas in the first Srishti come from Paramatma. All the devatas come from Paramatma. And subsequently in different manvantras, they are born or reborn through different, rishis and devatas and all that. So Chandra was born, if you look at Purusha Sukta says, Chandrama Manaso Jataha. Chandra came from the mind of Paramatma's Purusha form. When Paramatma is in Purusha form, from his mind, from his manas, came moon. And therefore, he is the ruler of the manas, the lord of manas. Who's the lord of manas? That means in your horoscope, in Jyotisha, what controls your mental characteristics? It's the moon in when you are born. The nakshatra it is in, the influences in it is in, that determines what your mental makeup is. Because moon comes from the manas of Paramatma. That is the first srishti, the first birth of moon comes from Paramatma's manas, right? And therefore he rules the manas. So his manokaraka, he is the manokaraka devata. That means he rules the mind. See, that is spread around different cultures. If you look at the word lunatic, right? A crazy person is called lunatic. Why is he called lunatic? In English, why is a crazy person called lunatic?
The mind is affected. So.
Because in the Latin, luna means moon. Lunar, right? Luna means moon. So that means that mind and moon association spreads across culture. It's not just within India. It is there everywhere. And if you look at Vedanta, Chandrama Manaso Jataha, he comes from the mind of Paramatma, and therefore he is the ruler of Manas. He's ruler of the Manas. But not just that. Moon is also the ruler of Dik, direction. He rules the directions, right? And therefore, the organ that is associated with Dik or Akasha Tattva is what? It is the ears, right? So he is also the lord of hearing, ears. Moon rules hearing, right? And he is also the Dik. If you look at, so I captured that also. I'm capturing all of these, the devatas and all those things. And finally, I will send it out once the chapter is done. See, look at all the Diks. See, there are 10 Diks, 10 directions. And they're Dik Abhimani Devatas. Look at that. East is ruled by Indra. You have to go from east clockwise. Southeast.
So Sunil, why always the direction is referenced with the sun if moon is the ruler of directions?
No, moon is the lord of directions.
Oh Lord, the difference between lord and ruler then?
No, the lord of directions means, he is the lord of hearing, ears. And the Dik Abhimani Devatas are the ones that rule hearing.
Okay.
And he is the lord of those Abhimani, 8 Devatas who rule 8 directions. Okay, we'll see that here. So east is ruled by Indra, right? Southeast is ruled by Agni. So if you look at, Vastu is based on this. Vastu is based on this. So where should your kitchen be? It should be in the southeast corner of, of the house, because that is where the Agni is. You should not be sleeping in the southeast corner because you don't get good sleep if there's Agni, right? South direction is ruled by Yama. So you should not buy a house facing south. For example, people don't buy a house facing the south. But where that come from, because the southern direction is ruled by Yama. Southwest is the worst direction. It's ruled by the Lord of.
But it depends on individual star, the house directions.
No. This is general. Individual star is only if there is a overpowering indication in a chart that says that south direction is good. Then yes. But in general, south direction is the Lord of south is Yama, and therefore generally you do not have a south facing house, or you do not do puja south facing. You do not have temples south facing. Only temple that is south facing is Sri Rangam. I think Sri Rangam is the one I know, because it was Vibhishana's request to have that facing Sri Lanka. Right? So other than Sri Rangam, I don't know any temple that is facing south. Right? So that is, southwest is the worst direction. Southwest is the direction of Nirati. Nirati is the goddess of chaos. It's a goddess of chaos. So that means you cannot sit towards in the southwest corner of the house to study. So that's where your trash can should be. That's where your restrooms should be, in the southwest direction generally, right? So because that direction is ruled by Nirati. Northwest is ruled by Vayu. Can you sit in the northwest to study?
No.
Because it's Vayu, right? Vayu is always moving. So that it is the direction of distractions. So northwest is ruled by Vayu. North is ruled by Chandra Kubera. And Chandra is the lord of the Dik Devatas. Right? Chandra rules the north as well as Kubera rules the north. And the best direction in the 8th direction is northeast. So, the northeast is where the Deva Mola, that means the Deva, where your temple should be, where the worship should be. It's in the northeast corner of the house is where Ishana, that is Ishvara, Shiva's direction. So Shiva is in the northeast direction, and that is why that is the best direction. That is where all the worship, studies, knowledge, everything should be in that direction and in that corner. Right? So these are all the general rules. Of course, there are 2 more directions. Downward direction is ruled by Ananta, that is Shesha, the serpent. He's also lord of attraction, gravity, right? And then upward direction is ruled by Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. And there is also one more direction. What is that? Antardik, internal, inside, and that is ruled by Antaryami. Antaryami rules that. So these are the Dik Devatas. Among all the Dik Devatas, Chandra is the Adhipati of the Dik Devatas. He's the Adhipati. That doesn't mean he's great among these, because Ishana is there. So Ishana is greater than Chandra. But then for the Dik Devatas, he just gets the Adhipatya, the post, the leadership post. Okay. So looking at where Chandra, so Chandra comes from the mind of Paramatma, and hence he rules the mind, he rules the manas, right? Chandra is also the ruler of hearing, and Chandra is the Dik Abhiman, the Dik Devata, the leader of the 8 Diks. Leaving aside the up and down, the leader of the 8 Diks generally, that he is the ruler of north direction with Kubera, and he is the ruler of the directions, Dik Abhimani Devata. What else? Do you know the Chandra Mantra, Navagraha Mantra? Who knows the Chandra Navagraha Mantra?
No.
Trisankatusharavam Shirarano Samudham Namami Sisnam Swaman Sambhoram Katavoshanam.
There are different versions of it. See, in this one, Kshirodharanava Sambhutam. Where did the moon come from? The first creation was from the Manas. When did the second creation happen? Where did the moon come from? In this Manvantara.
Samudra Manthana.
Samudra Manthana. when the Samudra Mantana happened, when the Devatas and the Asuras, right, when they were doing the stirring of the ocean, moon comes.
So that's why, I see. That's why Lakshmi is called the sister of moon.
Correct. Lakshmi is called the sister of the moon also, correct. Right? And the reason for Samudra Mantana is to get Lakshmi back. Even though, Amrita comes back, but because Indra would have lost Lakshmi because Durvasa, no, I don't want to go into that story. So Durvasa gives a flower which Indra throws down and his elephant stamps on it. And so Lakshmi says, you guys are very arrogant. I will leave the Devatas and go. So once Lakshmi goes, prosperity of the Devatas go, they are lost to the Daityas. And finally, they gain back the prosperity when Lakshmi comes back after Samudra Mantana. And they also get the Amrita, right? But here, what happens is, there's a beautiful story linking Chandra to Shiva. How is Chandra linked to Shiva?
Yes, because Shiva is holding the Chandra.
Why is he holding?
And he is protector from Daksha's curse to the moon, right? And he was the protector.
He was also, yes, he was the protector of the Daksha's curse, correct. So there is another thing there. So which is important thing of what moon does, right? This is all, I'm giving you all the properties of moon, right? What is moon? So I'm giving you all the properties of moon. So now when Samudra Mantana happened, so Chandra came up. And Chandra, how did Chandra come? Atri was doing the tapas. And from his eyes, the varchas, the tejas, went into that samudra. And from that samudra, the moon came. So that is why Chandra is Atri's son. So if you look at Kshirodharanava Sambhutam, Atri Netra Samudbhavam. He is born from Kshirodharanava, from the ocean during Samudra Mantana. He comes from the eyes of Atri, Rishi Atri, Saptarishi Atri. From his eyes he comes, right? Namami Shashinam Devam, Shambhor Mukuta Bhushanam. Then he goes to Shambhu's and Shiva's Mukuta, his head, his shika, his hair, tuft of hair. Why does he do that? So when they're doing that, Samudra Mantana, the hala, the poison, which is kali, right? Kali, as poison, comes out of the ocean, and then the Devatas go to Shiva and request him to drink that the poison, right? The hala. So when he see, all of these are Puranic stories. That means these are templates on which the universe, the world is built. I'm going to tell you what the template is. So just listen to the story and then we'll come to what the template is and how it manifests in our lives, how we can use that story, right? Now, and then, Mukhya Vayu also drinks it. According to the Keshi Sukta of Rigveda, Vayu also drinks it. And then Shiva drinks it. And when Shiva drinks it, it burns his throat. It becomes, he becomes the blue color, right? Neelakanta, right? The Neelakanta. So it's burning. So when the poison is burning his throat, then Atri, what does he do? In his meditation with his tejas, he creates moon out of this ocean. As the healer, moon is the healer. Moon is the lord of medicines. Moon is the lord of doctors, right? And then he says, cool and calm that irritation that Shiva is having. And so Chandra says, I will sit on your head and every day I will give you one bindu of Amrita that goes to the throat. And that will heal the Neelakanta, the irritation, right? And so in this story, the reason why he goes is to clear the irritation. So he becomes the lord of medicines. he becomes the lord of plants and vegetables. He's Vanaspati Raja. Right? He's the lord of all the medicines and a lot of vegetables and plants and all of those things. And he is the lord of healing, right? So if you are a doctor, then your moon should be very strong to be very caring, right? If you have a strong moon, you're a caring person. And that's what you're a healer if you're if you're a caring person. That if moon is strong, you'll naturally heal. Just if people look at you, just by your look, they say, right, in India, they say, oh, I went to this doctor, just talking to him, everything got okay, right? That is the power of the moon. If somebody has that power of the moon, just by being in their company, you feel very well and energized. That is strong moon. And that's why moon blessed Atri with that. And all of the great doctors are in the lineage of Atri. All the Atreyas are the greatest doctors. In Charaka Samhita, if you look at that, it's Atreyasa. So all of the Atreyasas became the healers, right? It is all going back to moon being Atri's son, right? How do you use it, right? When you do meditation, if you think that the moon is on the top of your head, giving you Amrita Bindu, that Amrita falls every day through your throat, that gives you 1 day of life. In Jyotisha, one Bindu that comes down from the moon into you will give you 1 day of life. So that is a meditation. That is a meditation of moon as the healer. The moon that provides the Amrita Bindu and provides the healing. That is the healing aspect of the moon.
Sorry, did you say moon is the father of Atreya?
No, son of Atri.
Son. Okay.
Yeah, but probably you know all of you know the story of Dattatreya, right?
Yeah.
So Anusuya, which is Anusuya is wife of Atri. She is the daughter of Daksha and wife of Atri. She would desire to have the Trimurtis as her kids. So Vishnu becomes Dattatreya, and then Shiva becomes Durvasa Muni. And because Brahma doesn't have the avatara, so Brahma enters moon, and moon becomes Atri's son. So the Trimurtis with Vishnu, Shiva, and then Soma with Brahma Avesha, they become the Trimurtis of Anasuya. So she is the mother of Dattatreya and Durvasa Muni. Okay. So you should know these are the important aspects of moon. What is moon? Moon rules the mind. What is moon? Moon rules the hearing. He is the Lord of ears. He is the Lord of hearing. And therefore, he is also Lord of directions. We saw that, right? All the directions here, 8 directions, plus 2 if you add the up and down, that's 10 directions. He's the Lord. He's the Lord of the northern direction and Lord of all the Dik Abhimani Devatas. Okay. Then he is also Lord of Vanaspatis, or he is Lord of plants and vegetables. He is the healing, the Lord of healing, right? And from him medicine comes. So if a strong moon will heal diseases, a strong moon is the one that heals. That's the one. He's the Lord of doctors, right? And the lineage of Atreya was blessed to be healers. All the Atreyas are healers. So all of these things are very important. And then there's one more.
What
Yes.
did you call the mantra, Sunil? Sorry. What did you call the name of the mantra?
What mantra?
The moon.
Kshirodharanava Sanbhutam Atri Netra Samudbhavam Namami Shashiram Devam Shambhor Mukuta Bhushanam. So it is basically saying moon that came from the Samudra, in the Samudra Mantana, he is born out of the eyes of a tree, and then Namami Shashiram, I bore to Shashi, Shambhor Mukuta Bhushanam, who is who's beautifying the shikha, the hair tuft of Shiva. So in that one, all the stories are already there, beautifully put in the moon mantra. It's one of the Navagraha mantras. It's a moon mantra. Japa kusma sankasham kashyapeyam mahadyatim tamognam sarvapapagnam pranatosmi divakaram. That's the sun mantra. Like that, there are 9 mantras. That's one of them is the moon mantra, which is telling the story of the moon. Right? And one last aspect of the moon, I said moon is the son of Atri. Moon is the father of who? Moon cheated.
Rahu Ketu, that.
No. Anybody? Nobody. Come on.
No.
No. Wow.
We
Okay.
haven't seen that in a movie yet.
Saturn possibly, Saturn or something, right?
No. Saturn is Surya's son. So moon, see, Brihaspati and Tara are the husband and wife, right? Brihaspati's wife, Guru. Brihaspati is Guru. Guru and Tara. Now, these are all Puranic stories, right? These are not people's stories. So moon once comes in the guise of Guru, and through Tara he has Buddha, Mercury, the Abhimani Devata of Mercury Graha is Buddha. So Buddha is moon's son through Tara. He cheats Tara. Tara thinks it's Brihaspati, and through her, moon begets this one, Buddha, Mercury. Okay, and therefore Mercury does not like moon. Okay, in this one, if you got moon rules this one, right? This is Kataka Rashi, Cancer. Which are the houses of Mercury?
Mitra and Vishweshwar.
So the 12th from here and the 3rd from here. Are the 12th and 3rd from this good to this house? No. That means inimical. So the son and the father are enemies. Mercury does not like the moon. Mercury hates the moon because he was a cheater. Right? Again, this is Puranic story. So if this kind of a combination, if you have a moon and Mercury in your chart, then that means there will be a problem between father and kid. Either you and your father or you and your kid will have a issue. Right? That's the difference. So when the Puranic story becomes your story, when that combination is in the sky. When I did Jyotishya 101, I explained this. What is Puranic story and how to read the Puranic story, right? You should remember that. And that is, whatever is the Puranic story, that story is not like people's story. It's like moon cheating Tara doesn't mean anything because it's not people cheating here. It's Puranic story, right? It's the Devata story. It doesn't mean anything. But then when that combination happens in our life, that manifests in our life. That becomes our story. And that becomes bad story, right? Especially Surya's sun is Shani. Surya and Shani are very, very inimical to each other. Surya and Shani are very inimical to each other. So if they are in the same house or seeing each other, then there will be a problem between the father and the kids, or the person and their kids. That relationship will be strained, right? So this story that we are reading in the Puranas, that will manifest in our life. And that's the reason why the Puranic stories are there. That becomes a template that manifests in our lives, right? And that's the reason, right? The same Shani and his father Surya are inimical. The same way Buddha, Mercury, and his father Moon are inimical. But Buddha loves who? Buddha loves Guru, stepfather,
Yeah.
right? Brihaspati, because he is the teacher. So if you have Buddha is the ideal student. He's the ideal student. Guru is the ideal teacher. When you have those two in the same house, that is called Bhagavad Gita yoga. That means Guru Shishya yoga. That means that person will be a great learner. He will understand everything. He will have a very great attitude to learn. If you have Jupiter and Mercury in the same house, right? That will be the best yoga for intelligence, for learning, for knowing a lot. Because Mercury wants to know, Guru wants to teach. When they are in the same house, that will be a great yoga of learning, right? So these are all the main points that you need to know about moon. I just put everything from different Puranas into this, and I've given you the whole stories of moon, so you understand different aspects of it. Because he's born of the mind, moon rules the mind, right? Because he rules the hearing, he rules the directions, and then he is the healer, and he gives Amrita Bindu every day, right? And then he is the healer, he's the lord of plants, he's the lord of medicines. And also the reason why, since he is the lord of plants, have you ever heard, maybe your grandfather or your grandparents say, do not cut plants, cut trees on Amavasya or Purnima day? You probably would have heard people say that, or the older generation.
Yes. Even in the night or evening when sun is not there.
No, when moon is there, you don't cut when moon is there.
Correct.
Right? So that is the reason why, because moon is the lord of plants. When moon is, so you don't cut it. When moon is hiding in plants, right? I mean, I think somebody, probably Venki, was saying that, that Shiva saves Shambhu, moon, from losing that luster, right? Moon loses light because of the shapa of Daksha. He loses the light. But Shiva saves him and brings the luster and puts him again on his head. And when moon is not on Shiva's head, where is he? He is in the plants. Purnima, he's the plants during Amavasya. So you don't cut the plants when moon is in the plants during Amavasya. Right? So again, see, these are all stories, but then this is a template of, there is a connection between plants, nutrition and nutrients, and moon being present. I don't think anybody has found that connection yet, but all of Puranas and the Vedanta is full of the stories where the plant kingdom and moon, or plant kingdom's nutrition and moon, are connected together.
But moon also impacts, the waves in the ocean, and also the psychology of humans. Violent.
That's the manas. That's the manas, right? Yeah. Right. So these are all connections that you have to know, different aspects of moon and how it is connected to the world. Right. On all of these stories, it's not, you don't need to take this as stories of people, but these are the stories that kind of guide you on what to do and what not to do, and how these are connected to each other. Sounds good?
That's good.
Oh, wonderful, Sneh. Wonderful.
Yeah. So these are all the things that you need to know about the moon. Any questions? Anything?
So one question, Sunil, on the thick, if you scroll down this one on the thick, people say, the god should face the east. In the puja room,
Yes.
God face the east. Some people say God should face the west, and you should pray from the east. So which one is correct?
You should face the east.
Okay.
You should face the east.
Okay.
When you are doing, yes.
Exceptions are temples.
But if you look at it, so the temples are on the grid, east-west grid. I mean, they can be facing east, they can be facing west. if they are facing west, then you are facing east, which is the best. When you are facing the east, they can also face west. I mean, they also face east, where you are facing west.
So either way is good.
Either way is good, but you facing east is the best. Okay, but the best direction is northeast, Ishana. That is the best direction.
Sunil, what is the benefit of saying Chandra Mantra?
No, the benefit of saying Chandra Mantra is if the moon is weak in the chart, right? That means that person psychologically maybe, they might not be very caring kind of person. You will not be caring person if you have a weak moon. You'll not be caring, right? They might be having problems with food, taste, right? They might have ear problems. If the moon is in the 3rd house and it's afflicted by Shani or something, there might be ear problems. And so there are so many things that those problems will go away if you do the moon mantra. Right? But especially the best mantra of the moon is moon sitting on your head, not Shiva's head, on your head, and giving you a drop of amrita that comes down through your throat, right? And that keeps you alive that day. So that Chandra Mantra with that visualization is the best. I mean, is the most healing best. When people do Dhanvantri Mantra, Dhanvantri is the best mantra for healing. Dhanvantri is visualized as sitting in the moon, providing because Dhanvantri is the one that provides nectar, right? The nectar comes from Dhanvantri. He comes from the Samudra, bearing the jar of Amrita, and so he's the nectar bearer. So he is the one sitting in the moon, providing that drop of nectar. So if you do a Dhanvantri Mantra with this visualization, I don't know how it works, but it works. It brings health, right? It is the best visualization for healing anywhere in Vedanta. This is the best. People also imagine, like people who have had siddhis, they imagine Dhanvantri to be sitting, here in the middle of the palm, right? Right. Yes.
Sunya, there is Dhanvantri Puja today in the temple? Right now it's going on.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, right now is Puja in Dhanvantri Puja in temple. It's actually going on right now.
Okay. Yeah.
It ends at 11:30.
Yeah, I know. I was just mentioning it because we were talking about Dhanvantris. I was just saying
yes.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
But the visualization of Dhanvantri is when you do Dhanvantri Mantra, you have to visualize Dhanvantri as sitting in the moon with a jar of Amrita, ambrosia, right? And of which one drop falls into your throat, just like it fell into the throat of Shiva, to give you 1 day of life. Right? And that is the best.
A quick question about this Shani and Sun. Why they are inimical? What is the reason? Father and son?
We will. I think there is probably one instance in the Vibhuti Yoga where I'll come back to that.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because now we are only talking about moon and nakshatras. We'll do that, and when we come to that point, this is all stories, right? You can just sit back and just listen to stories. This whole adhyaya is about stories, but not just stories.
Right.
How it is relevant to our lives and how it works and manifests in our life. It's not some story, that you can just sit and and sleep to. It's not that kind of story. This is a story that explains how these things work as templates and get manifested in our life, right? And so Dhanvantri. So I was saying the Dhanvantri people also do like siddhis, where they imagine Dhanvantri to be in the middle of the palm, and once that siddhi happens, they can give you blessings and heal you with that Dhanvantri sadhana. That they have to do that through the middle of the palm. So there are all of these siddhis. But if you do that mantra with this visualization, many times and doing homas through that and all of those things, such siddhis happen, which is kind of rare these days. But when there is such a siddhi, you will, they will be able to heal and cure people. And just being in the company of people with strong moon will make you feel very good and energized. So if make friends with people who have strong moons, just find out, if they have strong moons, and then try to be with them.
Excuse me, Dhanvantri Mantra, I don't know.
What is that?
Dhanvantri Mantra.
No, I cannot give Dhanvantri Mantra, but you have to get it. Yeah, it's a Diksha Mantra.
Sunil, do you have a strong moon?
No, I don't know. Probably I have a strong guru. That's why I love teaching and learning.
Okay.
If I've never heard of this,
No, but I'm
what
not a
you
healer.
just said.
I'm not a healer. Definitely not a healer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think people get agitated.
Yeah, maybe it is under Miss Bhavana.
Yeah, yes. Especially people who are born in Rishabha Rashi, unless there is some bad influence in Taurus. See, moon is very strong in this Rashi, Taurus. This is where Rohini is, his favorite house, favorite constellation. So if somebody is in Rishabha Rashi, and if there are no bad planets associated with moon, they're very caring and they're very healing in nature. So that such people should become doctors. They'll be very healing.
If you hadn't told this story, right, Sunil, I would have thought Dhanvantri is to do something with money.
Oh, no. Dhanvantri with money, no.
No, I mean, that's how much I don't know. That's what I'm telling you.
No. Dhanvantri is the god of medicines. He gives Amrita. Okay, I think we have exhausted everything that you got to know about moon. Right? I mean, these are all the main stories about moon, and these are all the templates, like how it manifests in our life. Right? Moon is mind. Moon rules the mind, and also moon is the healer, and also Vanaspati Raja. He is the Adipati of the plants, the plant kingdom. Okay. So we have gone through all of those things. So let me stop sharing this. So if you look at this, see, I'm still building this. I've added a little more here. Maruts, Vishvedevas were there. I added Pitruganas. I added nakshatras and nakshatra lordships, Dik and Dik lordships. We will come to this part. I'll talk about that. Different Manus and the names of the Manus. Who are the 100 Devatas who get Havis? The 100 main deities that we should worship, right? All of these are all prateekas. When I say we should worship Paramatma through the idols of these devatas. 100 devatas, 49 maruts, 2 Ashwini Kumaras. Who are those Ashwini Kumaras? Nasatya and Dasara. They rule the nostrils, right? The pair, twins, Nasatya and Dasara.
So they are the Sakadeva and Nakula and Sakadeva.
Correct. They are Nakula and Sahadeva. Correct. And they are the doctors. They are the doctors of the Devatas. They also rule medicine. They are the doctors. Vishwe Devatas, Rudras, Adityas, Brihaspati gets Havis. Pitru Devatas are many, 7 main. Of them, only 3 get Havis. Right? Yama, Soma, and Kavyavaha. 8 Vasus, Mukhya Prana, and there are 2 deities called Dyava, Prithvi. Dyava is the sky god, and Prithvi is the earth god. Those are 2 deities, and Ribu is one of the other deities. So these are the 100 deities. If you add this, it's 100 that accept Havis from humans. So this is the food that we give to the Devatas. They accept. These are all the other Devatas, they don't get Havis. So there are 100 main deities, of which 33, the Vasus, Rudras, and Adityas, they are the main ones, right? But there are 100 deities that get Havis. Okay. So there's one more thing I have to cover before we go to that part, because we were talking about Shabda prateeka is the next one, right? The shabda. So until now, in the last class, I explained prateeka upasana is the only worship, right? Prateeka is idol, right? It's not just idol; it's a symbol. It's a being. It's a being. It's a symbol within which we have to invoke Paramatma and worship through them, right? The lowest form of worship is through Prithvi and Jalatattva worship. That means clay idols, metal idols, stone idols, any kinds of these materials in whom we do the invocation and the worship of the Devata. That is the lowest form. Highest form in the Adhibhautika domain, in the world, in society, the highest form of worship of Paramatma is in Agni Prateeka. That is through Yajna fire. The worship of Paramatma through Yajna fire is the highest Adhibhautika worship. Okay. Then when you go up, Vayu Akasha is higher form of worship for the rishis, and that's omnipresence worship, present everywhere kind of worship. Then Surya is the highest Adhidaiva Prateeka. That means the fire in the heavens is the greatest Prateeka in the heavenly world. Okay. And then in the Shabda Prateeka, Krishna will talk about Omkara. So Omkara, Veda, mantras, these are all Prateeka. So mantra is not just, so when you do mantra, that sound is the idol, right? It's not shape anymore. It's the sound that's the idol. And the meaning is the essence of Paramatma. The meaning is the guna that is captured within the sound, which is the idol, right? These are stuff. Prithvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, all of these are stuff. Then when you go beyond stuff, then there is sound. The sound becomes the Prateeka, the idol, right? And then that is the great, and then Hridaya, in the heart, the Jiva itself is the Prateeka. In the Antaryami, who is in the Adhyatma, that is, who is within oneself, that becomes your Prateeka. Jiva is Prateeka. And then in this chapter, all of the Vibhutis that we are talking about, all of the different forms, these are all Prateekas through which to worship Paramatma's gunas, as they invoke the Paramatma's gunas, and also that Paramatma is giving them the speciality, and therefore the glory is being reflected through them. So these are all the different kinds of worship that is in Vedanta. If you look at all the Upanishads, they are only talking about these different, they don't talk about this worship, they talk about these worship. Okay, so the three important forms of worship in the Adhyatma domain, within the heart, within the Jiva himself as Antaryami. In the Adhidaiva domain, within Surya, that is also Gayatri Mantra. And in the Adhibhuta domain, within Agni, which is Yajna, Agni, Agni of the Yajna. So these are the three best Prateekas to worship Paramatma. Three best. Fire, sun, and then within one's own heart. If you look at any Upanishad, Yaschayam Purushe, Yaschasav Aditye Sa Ekaha, the Upanishad. That means he who is in the sun, in the Adhidaiva domain, he is within me in the Adhyatma domain. Sa Eka, they are both the same. The one who is within me is also the one who is within Surya. The one who is within Agni is also within me. Or in the Ishavasya Upanishad and the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Hiranymayena Patrena Satyasyapi Hitam Mukham Tatvan Pushanashav Apavruno Satya Dharmaya Drishtae. That is another mantra, which is the Rishi is praying to Surya, saying, your light is so overpowering, remove that light so I can see that golden being who is within you, the Antaryami Paramatma, so that I can worship him. So that worship of Surya Prateeka is everywhere in all the Upanishads. The worship of Agni Prateeka is there in all of the Yajurveda mantras. And then the worship of Antaryami in Hridaya, in the heart, is there in all of the Upanishads. Right? If you need to know those three Prateekas, it is within the heart, within the sun, and within the fire. Three greatest Prateekas to worship. Okay.
And the sound wave travels through media, whereas thought can travel across medias without media also. The waves. That's what one. Manasika japa is more powerful also.
Japa is shabda pratika.
What is Vibhuti?
Vibhuti means different forms. Vivida bhutihi vibhutihi.
I mean, like example.
Now, example is what whole of this this chapter, right? Adityanam aham Vishnu. Vishnu himself is Aditya. Nakshatra aham Shashi. So Shashi is a vibhuti. That means he is among all the stars. He is special because he is the ruler of the star. And the specialty didn't come to him because of his own greatness, because God sat in him to give him that greatness. So his greatness is a reflection of God's infinite glory reflected through a finite being. That makes him special. Right? It's like saying this, if you very simply, it's like saying among all the cricketers, I am Virat Kohli. Right? Maybe that you guys can understand it much better, right? Among all the soccer guys, you are Pele. Among all the tennis, I'm Roger Federer, or like that. That means among all of them, he is the champion, and you should not be thinking worshipping him as a hero. It says he is the hero. Why? Because not because of himself. Of course, he might have trained and all that, but he had the glory of the spark of Paramatma within him to make him that great. So you're looking at the greatness of this person, and then imagining if this 0.001% is this great, how much great he should be. That is worship. Right? If Virat Kohli is 0.00001% of the glory, what will be the 100% glory? Right? So that is what worship is. Worshipping is looking at the finite and thinking of the infinite, because we cannot think of infinite. So you can look at the finite and think of the infinite. That is Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti Yoga means you're looking at all the things that are special in these groups and what makes it special, and then thinking of how special that makes all these special. And that is what worship is. A worship, upasana, means this. Guna anusandhana. That means looking at what is special, and then times infinity is his speciality. That is worship. Good?
Very good, Sunil. Thank you.
Any more questions before we go to the next one?
Do we include Paramatma into the hierarchy?
Paramatma is in the first one.
Okay.
The hierarchy starts with him.
Okay.
Right? So we finished this. This is all the markings from last time. So we finished this part, right? This 21. Shloka 21 is done. So now I said this shloka is all about the heavenly world, right? He's talking about Adityas, the Devatas. He's talking about Jyotis, all the lights, the stars. And then he's talking about atmosphere, Maruts. We looked at the 49 Maruts. Then he talks about all the constellations and the moon. So he's exhausted the heavenly world. That is Akasha Tattva. Now Akasha Tattva's guna is what? Shabda. So now he comes to Shabda Prateeka. So now meditation on words. This is mantras, right? So this is meditation on words and mantras. So let's look at this. Verse 22. Vedanam samade vedosmi, devanam asmi vasavaha, indriyanam manaschasmi, bhutanam asmi chetana. 1 second. Okay. So when you come to Shabda Prateeka, now we talked about, Kshirodharanam Sambhutam, Atri Netra Samudbhavam. So that is a mantra, right? That's a mantra. The same way, everything in the Vedas is a mantra. That means it's Omkara Tulya. It means it's equal to Omkara, like that. So among all the sounds, the best sound is what? The Veda mantras. Veda mantras are the best sound. Among them, the best is Om. Om. So now he's saying, among all the shabda pratikas, which is mantras, the mantras are the best, and the source of the mantras are the Vedas. Right? So the Vedas are the next pratikas. Veda mantras, every mantra of the Veda is a pratika. You can do abhyasa of that. That means you can do repetition of that. It is a mantra japa. Okay. So why Sama Veda? Actually, Sama Veda is nothing original. It's all Rig Veda mantras only. Rig Veda mantras are praise. Yajurveda mantras are the Rig Veda mantras on where it should be used. When you are kindling the fire, use that mantra. It's Yajurveda says that. But if you go to Rig Veda, you don't know which mantra is used in what situation. Yajurveda tells you which mantra is used in what situation. Samaveda is also saying that in a musical form. What makes Samaveda special? Of course, each Veda is special in its own kind. I mean, if you look at Vedanam, Rigveda is also special. But it's one from what angle you are seeing. Here, Samaveda is special in the sense that it's musical. Music is special among words. Right? See, Yajurveda is all prose. Right? But Rigveda is poetry. Yajurveda is prose. Samaveda is poetry in music. Right? So music, so that means in Samskrita there's a beautiful, you know the difference between Bhasha, Vak, Vani. What is the difference? Bhasha.
Maybe Vani is how sweet your words are.
See, Bhasha. See, even dog barking is called Bhashana. Dog. That means people talking is compared to dog barking. That's how generally people talk, like dog barks. Right? So that's called, the worst form of speech is Bhasha, Bhashana. Right? So you shouldn't say, I'm giving a bhashan. That means I'm barking, basically. Right? More than that is Vak. Vak means Uvacha, like Bhagavan Uvacha, it says, right? Bhagavan, Abhashata. No, this is Bhagavan Uvacha in Gita. Bhagavan Uvacha, which Uvacha means is more modified. I mean, it's more, it is more, much better. It's much better, more dignified. That's Vak. More than that is Vani. Now it's musical. Vani is word in music coming out. Right? So Bhashana is everybody talking. It's like barking. Vak is a little more dignified and refined speech. Vani is the best speech. It's like music. It's the flow. It's the poetry. That's Vani. Right? So that Vani is the Samaveda. Of course, I mean, I shouldn't Rigveda, Yajurveda, but the music element is added in the Samaveda. That makes it special. Right? And Krishna is saying that music element glorifies Samaveda because there's more music in it. But is the greatness in the music? No. That greatness is in me. And that music reflects. What music reflects is a 0.001% of that glory. So if you love some music, multiply that by infinity, that is the glory of Paramatma. In terms of Shabda, right? You're looking at Paramatma in different terms. In terms of music, he's the greatest musician times infinity. That is the greatness. Right? So Vedanam Sama Vedosmi. That means Sama Veda, among all of the Bhashanas, the lowest form, Vak is the best, is refined, it's dignified. Among Vak is Vani, and that is Veda mantras. Among Veda mantras, Rig Veda is poetry, Yajurveda is prose, Samaveda is poetry in music, and that is the best. Because music element is the best. And the glory of that, the amazing enjoyment of that music times infinity is me. My Ananda is that. Right? So that is how you think of shabda prateeka, right? And also the meaning of the word gives you the essence of the word. So that is also becomes your shabda prateeka. So if you're doing a mantra, the meaning of that mantra becomes the essence that tells you about the guna of Paramatma. That is also the essence, right? So you understood this shabda prateeka?
So Sunil, maybe a basic question. So even when mantras are said,
Yes.
not only the ucharana, but also the music associated, how you say it, is also considered very, very important. What is the reason for that?
No,
Because
the
music
accent.
could be many different.
Accent. So music is only in Samaveda, but in mantras there is an accent. What is an accent?
Oh.
Accent is stressing, right?
Oh.
Where you stress, what word you stress, right? I mean, even in our language, when I want to say, do you really know that? Why do I stress really? Right? That has a different meaning, right? Do you really know? That's different from do you really know? That's different.
Oh. Okay.
Right? So that will change the meaning of the words.
Okay. Thank you.
Stress will change. That's why it's called udatta, anudatta, swarita. So these are different accents that gives you different stressing, and different stressing will change the meaning of those words. Right? Okay. So that's the shabda prateeka. So all the Veda mantras are shabda prateekas, within which the essence of the glory of Paramatma is there. So when you do mantra, you are actually through the meaning invoking that glory of Paramatma. And that is a worship through mantra. So when you do mantra japa, whether it is vachika, upamshu or manasika, what are the different kinds of mantra japa? Manasika mantra japa means it's only in the mind, you're just meditating in the mind. Vachika mantra japa means you are pronouncing, you're actually pronouncing it loudly. Upamshu means you are whispering it. That means you are only you hear it, not others, right? And that is the best form of japa, is upamshu, whisper. So whisper is the best form. When you do a mantra japa, you have to, you cannot say om, that is not good. Do it in a whisper to yourself. Remember, I keep telling, meditation is done in a group, right?
No.
Alone. Meditation is done alone.
Only the chanting.
Right? And you can be trained in a group, but you should meditate alone. Okay? And so the mantra upamshu is the best form. Upamshu means whispering, especially Gayatri and all that, and if you go to any temple and people are simply saying in their cassettes about Gayatri mantra, it is an upamshu mantra. It is not something it's not vachika. Anyway, so that is the shabda prateeka. Okay. Now, all of the mantras of the Vedas are invoking different vibhutis, right? It's invoking Indra, it's invoking Agni, it is invoking Varuna, it is invoking, Mitra Varuna, all of these deities. So now the Adhidevatas of those mantras, who are the prateekas themselves, from the mantra to the mantra devata, he is going, Devanam Asmi Vasava. See, Veda and Deva. Veda, Deva. So Devanam Asmi Vasava. So the Shabda Prateekas and the Prateekas of the Shabda will have the mantra Devatas. Devatas themselves are Prateekas through whom we worship Paramatma. And here it says, among all of the Devatas, Indra, Vasava means Indra. Indra is the king among all of the Devatas. Right? What is a Devata?
Agni Devata.
Yes,
No.
they're all the Devatas. So let's go back to that. Where's my spreadsheet? Let's go back to spreadsheet. Right? So these are all the Devatas. These are all the Devatas. There's all the Devata Gana. Among all of them, Indra, Vasava, he is the
rulers of domain. Rulers of domains, specific domains.
No, the devatas are rulers of the universal phenomenon, right? I mean, the universe, how the universe works, and within the body, the bodily phenomenon, right? All the bodies, and so that's why you come here. I wrote it somewhere. Here, right? Indra is Indriya Abhimani Devata. Leave the Manas, right? Of course, you can actually take the Manas. I mean, because the secondary lord is Chandra, but the primary lord is Shiva. So if you leave Shiva, then you can take all the 11. So among these 11 and all the other devatas, they are all the ruler of sense and organs of actions. There are 11 sense organs. I mean, there are 11 sense and organs of action, right? Ear, skin, eyes, tongue, nose. So these are all sensory organs, and then there are organs of actions. So among all of them, the ruler is Indra, right? Each of these, like I said, this is ruled by moon, right? The ears are ruled by moon, right? And then the same way, Chakshus has a, like Surya Deva, Jikva, Varuna Deva, like that, right? Nasa is, nostrils are Ashwini Kumaras, right? Agni, Vak. So they're all the devatas. So Indra rules the hands. Indra rules the hands, and hand is the king of all the organs, right? And so he is the king in the domain of the body, leaving the antakarana, leaving buddhi and ahankara and chitta, that is greater. It's greater, but among all of the sensory and organ of action, which is the domain of the devatas in the body, the king among them is Indra. The king in nature, outside, that creates, reigns, the king of nature is Indra Deva, right? So that is Indra. So Devanam Asmi Vasava means Indra Deva. Indra Deva, who is the ruler of the Indriyas, okay, and also the ruler of natural phenomenon, right? There's natural phenomenon. There's water, there's rainfall, there's all this fire and all of those things, right? There's wind blowing, everything that's in nature. Finally, the ruler of that is Indra, right? In the 3 domains, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. But if you go more than that, then all the higher deities come, right? I mean, if you look at the hierarchy, right? If you look at the hierarchy here, where is that? Indra. Here, right? He's here. He rules here. But then above him are all of these. But this is the world government is ruled by him. These are the king makers here. He is the king. These are king makers. Got it? Okay, let's look at Indra, right? Look at some things of Indra. So what are the avatars of Indra? Who is the Indra avatara that we know very well? Who is listening to all this?
Arjuna is one.
Exactly right. Krishna is telling Arjuna, and he's Indra. He's the one who is listening to all this, right? Krishna is telling him, right. He's Indra. He's the Indra. He's Indra avatara. But also, see, Arjuna is Indra avatara, but he's also there is Nara Amsha. So Nara Narayana rishis, that is Shesha, right? Ananta. So that is this here, Shesha, serpent. His avatara is Nara, and Narayana is Narayana. So Nara comes and becomes Avishta in Arjuna also. So Arjuna is Indra with the Avesha, with Shesha within him. So he becomes special. He's special for this. That's why Arjuna and Krishna are also called Nara Narayana, right? The first mantra, I mean the first shloka for the Mahabharata. What is the first mantra we do? Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. So Narayanam Namaskritya means you bow to Narayana. Who is he? Krishna. Naram Chaiva Narottam. Who is Nara? Arjuna, right? Because he has Naramsha. Nara is in Arjuna. Nara Uttama. Who is Uttama?
Bhima.
Bhima. So it's the prayer to the characters of the Mahabharata, the 5 important characters of Mahabharata, right? So Nara is Arjuna. Nara Amsha will be there in Arjuna as Avesha, but basically he's Indra, right? Kunti calls Indra, and Indra himself becomes Arjuna, and with Shesha Avesha, therefore he's also Nara and also Indra. So that's the main avatar of Indra is that of Arjuna. Who else can you think of? There's the same Arjuna is related to that. If you look at the Ramayana story and Mahabharata story, Indra will be on 2 opposite sides. On one opposite.
Indrajit?
No, not Indrajit.
Wali.
Who said that?
Sham.
Yeah. See, Wali, right?
There's a reason between this Ramayana why Indra came in this form and that form.
Remember, so in Mahabharata, Indra has the grace of Krishna, right? In Ramayana, Surya has the grace of Krishna. Sugriva is Surya. Surya avatar is Sugriva. Vali is Indra. So Rama's grace will be on Surya Deva in Ramayana, and Indra Deva and Mahabharata.
So the reason says is, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be Indra, but if you don't have the right guru, you could be Vali or you could be Arjuna. That's what the meaning is between Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Yeah. I mean, it is that's the play of what happens, right? See, if you look, you cannot look at one story and say, Vali was unfairly killed, but and then here, Karna was unfairly killed. But if you look at both stories together, one was in the receiving side on one story and on the other receiving side in the other story, right? Vali was on the receiving side in Ramayana, but Sugriva was received the blessings. But if you go to Mahabharata, Karna was on the receiving side, but Indra received the blessings. They are both the same. Vali and Sugriva are again Karna and Arjuna, right? So you cannot just take one story and say, this is unfair. No, nothing like that. You have to look at all the stories to look at the complexity of relationships and how things work. But again, the victor is where the blessings of Paramatma is, right? Where Indra got the blessings, he is the victor. Where Surya got the blessings, he is the victor. So are they great? No. Is Sugriva great? No. Of course, he's a great bhakta, and that's why he's great. But what made him great? Rama's blessings made him great. So Rama is great. Is Arjuna great? No. What made him great? Krishna's blessings. Who's great? Krishna is great. So that's how you should think. That is, upasana. Thinking like this is upasana. Okay. And then who else is the avatara? There's one more avatar of Indra in Ramayana itself. Vali is one avatar, and then who else? Lava Kusha. Kusha is Indra avatara, Lava is Agni avatara. So Kusha, Indra comes back as Rama and Sita's son, Kusha. And Agni comes as Sita's son, Lava. So Lava Kusha is Agni and Indra. Right? So these are all different things that, different avatars of Indra, different things that he does. So the thing to remember, Indra is Indriya Abhimani Devata, which means what? Which means, if you go back here, which means he rules what? He rules Swarga, right? Indra rules what? Indra rules what?
Swarga.
Heaven, Swarga.
Heavens, right? So now make the connection. He is the Lord of the Indriyas. He lords the Swarga. So if you go to Swarga, what do you get?
Indriya Sukha.
Man, who is the genius? Where is he? Who is that?
It's very rare, Sunil. That's me, Venki.
Yeah, this is how you should think. This is how you should think. In the Swarga level, the Anand, the pleasure is only in the Indriya level. The pleasure is just at the Indriya level. But you have to go beyond that. That has a beginning and an end. Once your punya is gone, they are going to kick you out of Swarga. Nobody is going to keep you in Swarga once your punya phala is gone. But it is only knowledge that has the eternal nitya phala is only for knowledge. And that is beyond this. That comes in the buddhi, ahankara, chitta, chetana level. That is where you get nitya phala. In this level, you get sukha phala, not nitya phala. The phala of good deeds that comes through Swarga is pleasure. What you get in Swarga is pleasure. What you get in Mukti is Ananda. That is beyond this. You would have lost all of this in Mukti. You have no body, so no Indriyas in that sense. But that is Swarupa Ananda is what you get in Mukti. That is a difference between the pleasure of the heavens, Swarga, and the Ananda of the Mukti. Two different things. Very important to understand that. Good? I think we have covered everything. The avatars of Indra, and then all of the things that he has done, the rulership. He's the Lord of nature. Basically, that's what you should think. He's the Lord of nature. And so his rulership is for one Manvantara, right? So every Manvantara. So if you look at this, I've captured the name of all of the Manus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another column here, and I'm going to say Indra here. What are the names of all of the Indras? So this Indra, name of Indra here is Yajna. That Vishnu himself becomes the first Indra. Vishnu himself becomes the Indra of the Swayambhuva Manvantara. Sarojasha Manvantara. There's going to be another Indra there. Uttama Manvantara. Tapasa Manvantara. So this is, there's what is that? Gajendra Mokshana story, right? Where does it happen? In the Tapasa Manu Manvantara. Puranas are in every different place. This is in Tapasa Manu Manvantara. And Tapasa himself is Vishnu Avatara. Raivata Chakshusha, and we are in Vaivasvata. And these are the 7 future Manus that will come. And here this is going to be Bali, who is going to be Indra. And the Indra now is called Purandara.
Hey, Sunil, in Kerala, when we do the Onam, is this the upcoming of Bali as in the Savarni Manvantara, or is it, what is the significance of that?
No, it is exactly what we do in Balipadyami, right? In Diwali. Right? In Kerala, Balipadyami is Onam, but it's celebrated on a different day, in Kerala. But it is Bali coming and the world welcoming him, the Bali, for one day.
See, Ramayana, which Manvantara it happened?
No, Ramayana is in Vaivasvata Manvantara, which yuga? In the 24th yuga.
Oh, that's the difference between Bharatam. Mahabharatam is in different yuga.
Correct. Yes. So the Treta Yuga of this, we are in the Kali Yuga. Before us was Mahabharata. Before that was Treta Yuga. Ramayana didn't happen in that one. Ramayana happened 3 cycles before that. Okay, so these are all the Manus that will come. They're all Savarni Manus. They're called Savarnis that will come in the future. And then different Indras will come in the future. This Indra is called Purandara. The next Indra is going to be Bali. And you guys know the story. of Bali and all that stuff. Okay, so I think
Yeah,
we
all the other avatars like Narasimha, you said they are not happened in this Manmantra, they are Puranic.
no, they did not happen on earth. They happened
Oh,
in this Manmantra.
okay, gotcha. Very good. Okay.
Yeah. The avatars that happened on earth starts from Parashurama, Rama, Krishna, Buddha. So the 4 avatars happened on earth.
mean Gautama Buddha or different Buddhas?
No, Gautama Buddha, I mean, even if you look at Bhagavata, it is Gautama Buddha. Shuddhodani, it says. Shuddhodani means Shuddhodana's son, Buddha. But again, there's because Buddha went against a lot of Vedanta concepts, or at least the literature shows that. So they want to. Some traditions have Balrama, but Balrama is Shesha. He's not Vishnu Avatara. Some of them have some. I know Balrama is replaced Buddha. There is some other traditions where they replace Buddha with something else. I forget what that is. So there are a couple of traditions, but Bhagavata is very clear, it's Buddha. Okay, so now I think we have covered everything about Indra. What are the Indra? What are the things I told you about Indra? He is Indriya Abhimani Devata. The king rules the hands. He is the king of the organs of sense and actions. Swarga is only about pleasures of sensory nature. He is the lord of the nature, the natural processes. And then his avatar is Arjuna with Nara Amsha, which is Shesha Amsha, Kusha, and Vali. All of these. I think we have exhausted that. Okay, so Indra means Aishwarya. Indra means glory, right? Indra means glory. So when you worship Indra as a prateeka, that means Indra, who made Indra, Indra. That means he who gave Indra the position of Indra among all the devatas. If Indra is glory, what about the one who gave him that glory? How glorious he is. So that becomes a Vibhuti of that. That means you worship within Indra the Paramatma who is glorious. That becomes a prateeka. So this is a prateeka for all of the devatas. Indra being the highest, and what makes Indra special. But also, that is how you should look at all of the devatas in this domain of Adidaiva. And if you're using Agni as a prateeka, Agni, not Agni fire, but Agni Devata. You can also worship Agni Devata, and within him, the Paramatma, who makes Agni special, who makes Agni the first. Right? And so, he who makes Agni first, how first he should be, that is the thinking, that's the meditation. Okay.
Again, meditation means Gunanusandhana.
Meditation. So these 2 things you guys have to always remember. Worship means looking at a finite quality that we see around in nature. For example, fire associated with purity, and then kind of extrapolating that to what an infinite purity would be. That is worship, right? Tam yatha yatopasate tadhaiva bhavati. That is the Gunasa Anusandhana. That means you have to find a suitable thing, being, or something that has a very dominant quality which is good, right? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means good. You should be Sat, good. That good character in nature, and then infinite times of what you see in nature, that should be your thinking, is what you are. That is your glory. That is worship. Upasana means that. Guna Anusandhana. Okay. So next. So Vedanam Sama Vedosmi, Devanam Asmi Vasava, and then what is the other one? Hold on, let me see.
Indranam.
Indriyanam. Okay, so Indriyanam Manaschasmi, right? So among all the Indriyas, so Indra is Indriya Abhimani Devata. So we talked about that. Now coming to Adhyatma, he's saying Indriyanam Manaschasmi. So that means he's only taking all the Indriyas. The 11 indriyas, not buddhi, not ahankara, not chitta, not chetana, because they are greater than manas. So if you just take this, so these 5 are sense organs, right? These 5 are this is hearing, touching, or sensation, sensory, sight, taste, and smell. So these are sense organs. These are 5 organs of action. So among these, manas is what? Manas is both a sense organ as well as an organ of action, right? You can, manas is also organ of action and is also sense organ. That means you sense space through manas. You sense time through manas. You sense sukha dukkha through manas. So it's not through indriya, it's through manas. So manas is also a sense organ. It is also an organ of action because ichcha comes from that. Manas is the one that drives things, right? So manas is both a karma indriya as well as jnana indriya. So among all of the indriyas, manas is the highest, right? But what did I say? Among all of the indriyas, hands are the highest, right? Now this is how the Upanishads and Vedas work. When that comes, then you should only think of these 10. Among 10 indriyas, the hand is the highest. Among 11 indriyas, the mind is the highest, right? That is how Brahma Sutra works. That is how conflicts are resolved, because one thing is within one group, the other thing is in another group, right? And that means when it's talking manas, Mano Abhimani Devata is taking as Shiva, not Chandra. If Chandra was Mano Abhimani Devata, then Indra would be greater than him. But here in this sense, he's taking as Mano Abhimani as Shiva. So among all of these organs, manas is the highest, right? What does manas do? Mananashilaha, right? Mananashila means
It directs the indriyas in the right direction.
Exactly, right? It is sankalpatmakam. That means you can plan. It is vikalpatmakam. You can consider options. And it is also what? It is also focus.
Because manas also drives prana, kind of.
No, manas doesn't drive prana because prana is higher than manas.
But
right?
with manas, you can move the prana. For example, energy, you move where your manas is focused.
No. I know what you're saying. But we will come to that. But prana is very higher than manas. Prana moves manas.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
But so coming back to this, okay, where was I?
The qualities of
the sankalpatmakam, which is planning, then vikalpatmakam, that is considering options, and then what else? It is the ekagrata, right? The focus, and manas is that organ which connects outside world to the inner world. It connects directly to Atma. Manas connects directly to Atma. Indriyas don't connect to Atma. Only Manas connects to Atma. Right?
But if chitta and ahankara are suppressed, manas connects directly to Atma, or is it?
No, it's Manas always connects to Atma. Manas is always connected to Atma. Indriyas connect to Manas, just like the horses connect to the reins, right? I mean, in the model of the chariot, horses are the Indriyas, and the reins are the ones that control the horses, right? The reins are connected to, they're the ones that connected directly to, and then buddhi gets connected to the manas, right? Buddhi will give nischaya to what manas has brought in. Chitta will bring the memories to what keep things in memories or bring from memories to what manas has brought to, and then all of these manas then connects directly to Atma, and when it connects to Atma, it becomes a feeling. Without connection to Atma, there is no feeling, right? For example, you're sitting on a chair right now, right? Until now, you have not noticed how it feels to be sitting on the chair. You've not noticed it. Now just notice it how you are sitting on the chair, that feeling of you sitting on the chair or wherever you're sitting, right? So when you bring your manas to that, then the feeling comes to your Atma. Now you know the feeling of sitting. When the manas is out of that, you have no feeling, right? Where the manas takes the Atma knows that. That is called Abhimana. Abhimana is where manas takes the Atma. If the manas takes the Atma to something, then you only see that thing and not other things, even though all the senses are already engaged, right? Your hand is already engaged, but you have no feeling of what hand is doing. Only when you bring the mind, to hand, then you know, okay, now I feel what the hand is doing, right? So that means the Indriya itself will not give you anything. Indriya has to be connected. Indriya is connected to the mind, but mind has to be looking at that Indriya for that Indriya to bring the information. So Manas is the connection between the outer world of Indriyas and the outside world and the inner world of Antakaranas and then Atma. Right? And there is a very famous shloka, Manaseva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayoho. The difference between Bandha and Moksha is Manas. If the good Manas is in control, you will go to Moksha. When Manas is out of control, you are in Samsara.
Bandha.
So there's only one Karana, it says. Manas. Mind will determine. Mind, and again, English equivalent mind is different. But again, Manas is the one that determines whether you are in Moksha or you are in Samsara. Because that is the organ of focus and distraction. Where you focus, you will exceed and excel. Where you don't, you will not. That's it.
Is Manas connected to Siddha and Buddhi also?
Buddhi, yes. What is the other one you said?
Siddha.
What is Siddha? Oh, Chitta.
Chitta, sorry, yeah.
Chitta, yes. Yes.
So can you give an example? Like how you said we are sitting in the chair?
For example, you see something, you see a book, right? So that seeing a book comes through Manas. So you know that you are seeing a book. How do you know? Because Manas connected the Indriya of sight, eyes, to your Atma. So the Atma now has the sense of sight, seeing a book. But then the feeling that, oh, this is that book. Oh, I have read this book. I have not read this book. How do you get that? Because then Chitta connects to that. It will look at the memory and say, oh, this book is not something I've seen before, or this book is something I've read before. So that will come. And then should I buy this book or not buy this book? That will come through Buddhi.
Okay, makes sense.
But again, this subject will take long time, Sunil, because Chitta Akash, and you talk about different Akash and different screens, how Manas Atma looks at,
Yeah. Karthik.
One question, Sunil, sir. When you say, the peace of mind, when you pray to Lord Shiva, you get peace of mind, you say. There are four things. Surya gives wealth, health, Agni, and Shiva gives you the peace of mind. How does it connect here?
No, Shiva gives you knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's Manas Abhimani, right? He's also on top of Chandra is Shiva ruling the Manas. And he is also ruler of Ahankara. So if you have too much Ahankara, will you learn? You'll say, why should I attend? I know more. Right? So that means, if you have more Ahankara and knowledge are opposite sides. Desire and knowledge are opposite sides. I mean, that desires and knowledge are opposite sides. So when you have one, you don't have the other.
So what is the meaning of all those indriyas there? I mean, it's in Sanskrit. The shotra, I can understand hearing.
Hearing, this is the skin, eyes, tongue, nose, vak. This is a pancha karmendriya. So vak is speech, is karma indriya. Pani is hands. Pada is your legs. feet. Upastha is genitals. Payu is excretory organ. So 5 sense and 5 actions. And top of it is manas. Okay, so manas is very important. So he's saying among all of the indriyas, manas is the most important indriya because it is the one that has direct access to Atma and connects the external world to the inner world, right? And what makes it such? Now again, here manas is what? When he talks about manas, it is inanimate. Manas is inanimate, right? It's prakriti, it's inanimate, as well as mano abhimani devata, Chandra, Shiva, all of them are there. So why are they special? Because what? I make them special. If manas thinks, think about how I think. I think without thinking. I think without manas. I make manas think, right? So that is how when you think of manas as this one, indriya as now the prateekas, like indriya becomes prateeka, right? Your eyes is your idol. You're worshipping God in the eyes. You're worshipping God in your breath. You're worshipping God in your mind, right? So when you're worshipping God in your mind, you're saying, my mind can think, but I don't control my mind. Who controls my mind? He controls the mind. So he is the controller of the mind. If I can think like this, how can he think? So that becomes a worship. Indriyanam manaschasmi, right? So it is now, remember this is inanimate, right? He's talking about inanimate. Manas is inanimate. Abhimani devatas are there, but manas itself is inanimate. Okay. And then bhutanam asmi chetana. And among all of those things, that means not just this, among all of the bhutas, the panchabhutas, the 24 beings, the 24 elements, among all of those things, what stands above that? Chetana. Chetana means awareness. Chetana is not the guna of prakriti. Chetana is the guna of jiva. Jiva is self-aware. Jiva has awareness, right? If jiva did not have awareness, and if manas connected the external world to the jiva, would jiva see? Would jiva hear? Would jiva smell? No. So manas is not even important. What is important? Chetana is important. Chit, right? Chit is chetana, awareness. Awareness is called as the internal light. It is the internal. There are 2 lights. There's an external light represented by Agni in this world, Surya in the heavens, and there is an internal light. That is the light of the jiva. That is the light of the knowledge within the jiva. And the chetana is that light, the consciousness, the awareness. That is, without that awareness, there is no indriya, there is no manas, there is no buddhi, there is no chetana. All of them work because there is chetana. So it says, bhutanam asmi chetana. Among all of the bhutas, among all of the elements through which is created, this whole of creation, what is the greatest? The greatest is the one that is beyond them. That is chetana. That is awareness. Awareness is the greatest among all of the creation. Because that is what is the nature of knowledge. It is the internal light. Just like external light is the greatest, internal light is the greatest among all the lights. That is chetana. Okay? Good?
Good. Super.
Okay, it's already almost 12:30. What do you want to do? I think let's stop at this point so that you can digest all of the information. Next time it is like Rudranam Shankara. So we'll go to stories of Shiva and his avatars. What are the avatars of Shiva and on all of the things, and what does he control and where does he come in different Puranas. We'll see those things, right? So in this shlokas, you should be what you need to be aware of is in the 21st shloka, it was all in the heavenly world, right? It is the Jyotis, the lights there, and then came down to the atmosphere, different pratikas, and then came down to the shabda. Shabda related to the Abhimani Devata of Vedas, because Veda Shabdas. And then the Devatas in the internal world, the organs, then came to Manas. And then, even among all of the bhutas, the greatest is the light which is inside, which is Chetana, which is awareness. Right? So now he's linking all of those things to these different pratikas. So Chetana will become the what pratika? Antaryami pratika. Right? That is where you say that when you are meditating on God within in the heart, you are saying that God is within the Chetana, giving me the awareness. That is what you are talking about, right? The God who gives me awareness. How great is He? That is the internal, the japa. Awesome, good.
Very good, super.
Okay. Any question? I think there were a couple of questions here. Let's see, chat. What is the significance of Chandra Mantra? Okay, listen. Good. Okay. Yes.
Sunil, one question regarding this Buddha. In Bhagavatam, do we have the stories of Buddha? I don't remember reading any stories of Buddha in Bhagavatam.
No, there is Buddha. Buddha is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Shuddhodani Buddha is there, but not the story that we hear, but is the story of how asuras were misled in Kali Yuga. That different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bhagavatam is all about the leelas of Vishnu in several avatars.
Yeah, I mean, Bhagavatam is just like any Purana, right? Puranam Panchalakshanam.
Yeah, Panchapurana, one of the Panchapurana.
No, Panchalakshana.
Purana.
Panchalakshana means every Purana has have 5 aspects. It should talk about creation. It should talk about different Devata Ganas. It should talk about the lineage of the kings and all of those things. And so every Purana does that. And within that, Bhagavata also does that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Sunil. It was wonderful. The class was wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm making all of this list, and once it's done, I'm going to kind of compile it and then send it to everybody. But it's good, and as we go through, I can take some time and then just construct this. So you'll know everything, and also putting links here. So if you want to see who the Maruts are, you click on that; it'll take you to that list. Who the Vishwa Devatas are, you can go to that. Who the Rudras are, you can go to that. So that way, it will be like a wiki. You go from here to there, and then you will know.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Okay. Any questions? That no question. I've talked for 2 hours.
No, we just digesting. That's like too much. We ate too much.
Yeah. So, one thing to remember is Purana stories. It's a specific kind of story. It is not a novel kind of. It is a story, which is a template that that it manifests in our lives depending on how these are placed in when at the time of birth. So that is the story, right? So like I said, if you look at what devas have done and you say, see, moon has done this, how I can also do this. It doesn't work like that, right? It's a template story. It is not a dharma story. Devata stories are all, like I said, you should do what Devatas say, not do what they do, right? That's a dictum. And so that story, because it's a story in a different domain, saying something different. And so you should understand it that way, not a different way. Got it? Okay, let's finish with the mantra. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura
Mardhanam
Devaki Paramanandam,
Devaki Paramanandam,
Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum.
Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum.
Om. Okay, so next week we will do mantra, the shloka 23 and onwards. So every shloka like that, we will go into that particular aspect of it and look at everything, right? When we go to Shiva next week, we look at everything about Shiva and why is he important and what is his position and what does he do and all of these stories. And then the same way, Skanda, what is he? Where does he come? Skanda there's so many avatars of Skanda, you will be very surprised when I tell you how many. See, in India, if you look at it, I think other than Tamil Nadu, there is nowhere there is worship of Skanda. Hey, please mute, right? I think only in Tamil Nadu there's worship of Skanda, Kartikeya, that is continued. I think nowhere in India, as far as I know, that is there. But Skanda is a very, very important deity in the pantheon. I mean, in the Vedantic pantheon, and how many avatars he has taken and how important he is. We look at all of those stories. I think different Kartik will be very happy. Kartik Bala, Kartik Radha Krishna, they'll all be very happy to know the story of Kartik.
Yeah.
Right?
We are waiting.
Yeah. So that's going to be the template. That's going to be how we are going to do it. Look at each of the things, look at what they are and how they come in different stories of Vedanta. So that way you will connect all of these different pieces of stories in in the Puranas in one place. That way you'll know the whole thing about it. Just like today you know about Chandra and the whole thing about Chandra, we'll do that for Shiva, Skanda, and all of the other deities.
So I'm sharing all this information in India because everyone's sitting at home and just sharing, the Suryana Adityanam Aham Vishnu. So I was explaining to them, it's so nice. People are so, interested to learn all this because they are at home and, very interesting. They want to know Shiva and of course Skanda. Those two are waiting. So
Yes. Important. Yeah. So next class.
Next class will be fantastic.
Next class we'll see all that stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, then see you next week.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
So much.
Thank you. Bye bye.